Hey gang, we're gonna go investigate this murder at a graveyard. Zoinks! I don't know if that's a good idea, Fred. Raggy, it's Loco Parentis! That was terrible.
Tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Sleepy Hollow crew, where are you? We need some good stories.
Woo!
You're not fooling me with that plastic mask.
Oh.
Really need some special effects now. Okay, I think that's
That
enough.
mask. Oh man, I was waiting to get on that.
Yeah, I think that's the first thing.
I was trying to hold it, and once you said it, I just. Okay.
I don't know, Scoob. Zoinks!
Zoinks! You kids! It's just like I
was expecting Molly to like pull the mask off of him. Oh my god!
It's like the librarian or something like that. It's like the mean neighbor.
It's like a colonial wolf, guys. Gang.
That. Okay.
Zoinks!
Since we're already
sorry.
talking about it, hey guys. Good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, how's it going? Welcome to the Sleepy Hollow After Show, Season 4, Episode 7, Loco Parentis.
Yeah.
Loco, yeah, it sounds like it's a take on the Latin for wolves, for the wolf, yeah, and it's also crazy parents.
Yeah.
So, okay. Thoughts, Michael?
All right. Well,
Where you can find you.
Well, yeah, yeah. Hey guys, how you doing? You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that at Woyunsa, which is ONEYOUNGSTA.
And you can find me on Twitter at Stephen Lemieux, STPHNLEMIUX.
Woo.
Okay, overall thoughts in the episode.
All right. Overall, this was a mixed bag. This episode was definitely a mixed bag for me. There were some strong points. But I think the bad points were just so visible. This one. We already mentioned it, so I guess let's go in and talk about this. The effect, I guess, if you could say, of the werewolf or the I forgot the exact name of it. You guys will let us know in the chat.
The Barghast.
The Barghast.
Barghast.
Yes. He didn't. I think maybe they were on a tight schedule, or maybe it just didn't. Even when they tried to keep it dark, he didn't come across as well as I think. He didn't come across as well as I think a monster in a monster show in season 4 should come across. I think that's the best way to say that. I think this is season 4, guys.
To be fair, Grimm's in season 6 or 7, and they literally had somebody turn into a hippo and bite somebody's head off, and it was the worst looking special effects I've ever seen.
I left that show a long time ago.
No, I've heard that people still like it, and the special effects are endearing, but this show has been built on a very solid special effects and practical effects team, making the creatures look super badass and cool. And this was the lamest shit I've ever seen. I'm so sorry.
It just didn't connect for me, man. I was like, I was like, wow.
It gets shot with the arrow twice in the slow motion of the freeze frame. It goes falling.
When he falls, he's like,
It was like a freaking Power Rangers.
Hold up. Now I'm going to fall.
Oh. It was like, wait, did he just trash a city in Godzilla mode, then fall over?
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Which is really crappy because the story was actually pretty cool, and we actually got some cool development, but I just couldn't get past, like, okay, he was so much more badass as the dad. Like, it was so much more creepy as the dad, but as soon as it changed into this black fur thing with, like, a Walmart mask, you were like, oh, what?
And the way that he dug up the hearts or whatever was just very basic. Like at the beginning of the episode, they set it up really cool with like a kind of scary moment. You got the girl at the gravesite, and you're like, oh, something's gonna happen. But I'm thinking something's gonna come from under the ground. And then when he takes her heart, it's like,
yeah, I was like, okay, I liked the petrification, and they actually showed some pretty gruesome stuff this episode. Mm-hmm. Petrification and the whole act of Kali Ma taking the heart and leaving like stone behind. But like, I'm sorry, but if you're gonna have somebody's chest like ripped open with kind of a pretty good like precision of ripping only open that part, but then when they show the monster, it's like,
I don't know what this is. I'm sure you guys, there'll be a gift for that like next week.
Hashtag bad directing. I'm sorry, this episode had bad directing.
Like, it would have been cool to maybe if you directed it differently. Maybe if you like grabbed her by her. Maybe you like grabbed her by her neck, even a silhouette, like grabbed her by her neck and then like shoved his arm straight through her body. But maybe that's too much for network.
No, that would have been fine. A silhouette at least.
Because I'm like, well, I'm an old school horror guy, but maybe that's too much for network. But that would have been cool to have a silhouette of like grab her by the neck. She's like struggling. He's like, bam, and body goes lifeless, and he's like, maybe drinking the blood is a little much, but still, that would have been cooler than.
Just so you know, drinking blood is a little much, but ripping the heart out of their chest and eating it is definitely not too much.
Well,
just so we know where we stand.
It's like, hey, drinking blood, stop it.
This is where Fox stands. Drinking blood, no. But if I were to rip your heart out, well, they have to be able to watch Temple of Doom, you know?
Yeah.
They have to be able to keep reruns of that going.
Yeah.
But again, it was probably one of the better twists.
Yeah.
I think the twist that, like, okay, her dad that we didn't know anything about before, that we were always kind of wondering, like, okay, so who is her dad if she's going to be a witness? We find out that her dad is a soldier. He's on deploy, but he came home early, and he was never really in Molly's life too much. Like
kind of like, I guess, sort of in and out from, maybe, every couple of years he might stop by or something like that.
Yeah, but
she seemed very passive about his presence. She was like, oh, okay, cool, Dad, I'll see you at the party. Like, she didn't seem extremely excited or extremely saddened either.
It's just an acquaintance and kind of how it felt. So he returns awkwardly with Ichabod being the father figure in the house, and we have this whole thing where he like, what didn't make sense to me is that like, okay, so the Bargus took on this persona of a dad that it's never seen before
ever. I'm wondering where the monster got its information from.
Maybe just the mind of her writing the symbols drew it out, so her thoughts created it. Whatever, but then instead of just luring her away, it's like, yo, I'm gonna come to your birthday party.
It's like, I'm gonna hang out with your mom.
I'm gonna try to smash your mom real quick.
Yeah. It's like, I'm gonna hang around people that can definitely tell if I'm not the real dad. Like, you'd think he'd want to
limit the amount of interaction.
But he's like, I got your special coffee. It's 2 sugars and a piece of whipped cream or whatever he said. And she was like, you remember it. It's like, so how did he learn that?
He's like, yo, D, you trying to smash before I go eat your daughter's heart?
Yeah. Like, yo, D, miss you, girl. Oh, I want to kill your daughter.
I'm back from deploy early for you and your daughter's heart, but for you.
I don't know if I want to go back because I want romance and murder, but mostly romance a little bit.
Yeah. By the way, I'm a wolf. I didn't say that.
It's like, shh, I didn't say that. It's just a mask. It's from Kmart. Don't worry about it. That mask, man. That mask ruined a lot of the episode for me. And I know we didn't see it a lot. Because like you say, it was very creepy. Like in the car, it was very creepy because we found out at the same time they found out like, whoa, hold up. Is the dad? And then we were like, oh, everybody was like worried. It was a cool twist because we were thinking it was Dreyfus the whole time. And that, the dad's just like, a special, just a new guy that they're going to bring as a recurring character or something like that. But no. It's the dad. And the dad turns into a very just basic special, like the most basic, like dry run rehearsal monster that you could ever have. But there were some good things in this episode.
So I'm going to do a poll on Twitter right now. It's Sleepy Hollow fans. Would this episode have been better if the creature's mask wasn't purchased from the 99-cent store? Let us know. You have 3 options, yes, no, or I don't watch the show anymore. I want to know what you guys think, because some people don't watch anymore. But, yeah, so let me know what you think. I think this episode would have been a lot stronger if they had a better creature design.
Because we did have some cool stuff in here. Like, outside of that storyline that I really enjoyed, that I thought made this episode strong.
Yeah, but you realize, like, it used to be like you get some really weird creatures and stuff going on.
And they look pretty good.
This season we got, we got black goo that takes him to celestial purgatory court. We got, John Wilkes Booth demon who puts his fingers in people's head. We got Job demon who's just a guy. We got Anubis Archer who's just a person with a mask on, basically. Yeah. And now we have the Bargist, which is just a person with a mask on.
But at least Anubis looked better. The Anubis-like Archer looked better.
Yeah, it looked better. But, I mean, they could have gone practicals with that and made it look cool, too. But this was just... Dude, I can't get past it.
Man, it was tough.
You are on a show where your claim to fame is your awesome-looking creatures.
Yeah, and this is season 4.
Do you remember
not 1.
Do you remember the fucking Sandman?
Yo, wow.
Right?
Yeah, the Sandman.
That shit was tight.
Very cool.
Right? So many in season 1, like even season 2.
1 was like very
so
well
cool.
set up. Wow, yeah. Like even like the flashbacks that they had of like now I can't think of the demon's name, the original demon's name, but
Moloch.
Moloch. Yeah, like everything looked really, really cool. And it looked, I guess the thing is because it looked like it fit in that world.
Because the world was dark, and it was like, oh my god, there's warlocks and Hessians, and like...
And that mask, the mouth didn't even move. It was just like... like, it was like, so the wolf's mouth is always open? Does he chew the heart, or does he just shove it down his gullet?
Dude, like, I think the beginning would have been stronger if the girl was like, what is this that you're wearing? Like, get away from me, you freak. And then it kills her. Like, then it would have been like... a comical thing of like this creature looks comical, but it's actually pretty dangerous.
Looks weird, but it's scary. Yeah.
Like, because honestly, if a freaking Bargist, if that's what they look like, if they walked up to me in a graveyard, I'd be like, dude, get the hell away from me. Like, what's wrong with you?
What's up with you? like, stop it.
Honestly, like, what? You couldn't break a $5 for your mask? Jesus.
Or if you're gonna buy that mask, then put some money into your like makeup department and be like, okay, so this is the mask, but you guys put some rouge or something on it. I don't know. Just do something with this mask to make it cooler, and then post production, you guys do some After Effects magic and make them look realish, or at least supernatural-ish.
I don't know.
Man, speaking of supernatural,
we don't have a budget for full body makeup, so cover him in fur and give him a damn mask.
Bad fur too. It was just like it just looked like they got it from Party City.
What's the name of the actor, famous guy who was in Pan's Labyrinth, does all the, is it Chuck? Why do I think it's Chuck?
Pan's Labyrinth, it was a Guillermo del Toro film.
Creature actor. It's the creature actor. He always does these things. Elena Jordan, Doug Jones.
Okay.
Elena Jordan would freaking kill me if I didn't get that. Doug Jones, we used to have Doug Jones, and now we have intern get in this suit and run around. How do you want me to open his heart up? Go like this.
Do this. It'll work. Because you think.
Here, can we get Monster Mash real quick?
Oh yeah.
Just real quick, Neil. Can you bring that up for us?
But it's crazy because the motion that he was making, you would expect the whole chest to be open. Yeah. And maybe that would be cool if they, well, I mean, I guess, it's kind of scary. But, I mean, it is, 9 o'clock that it comes on? So, I mean, it would be a little scary. But you would expect the whole chest to be open. Not just one little specific, hand area, perfect for, your heart to fit through, and that's it. It's man, I know we're going long on this, guys, but it's season 4, man. It's season 4. It's season 4. Like this.
What is this?
I have no
Cut
idea.
forward. I don't know if this is what it's supposed to be.
Maybe not.
Cut forward some more? Oh, man. He can't... All right, so anyone can just put the music to Monster Mash, and this is how we do it. This is how we do it. We did the mash. We did the Monster Mash.
That's all you had to do.
It was a dollar store smash.
Oh. A dollar store smash.
Yeah.
What? Nope.
Zoinks! I don't know if I like this, Scoob!
It's scary. It was just so, and I know we're going long, but it was just, it's season 4. I think that's what I'm trying to drive the point.
It's like
home.
the equivalent of people making an argument like, it's 2016. You can't think like that.
Yeah,
this is us being like, it's season 4.
It's season 4.
You can't design
do this.
creatures like that.
Yeah, it's like this season. How did that get past the? How did that get past the? I don't. Not even the showrunner. Like, how did that get past like the? I don't know. Whoever's in the makeup department, like the lowest person, like. I don't know if we should use that. Like somebody
Excuse me. We used all of our bronzer and shadowing on Job this episode. How are we gonna have a creature now? Here I have a very black fuzzy pillowcase and a dollar store mask that my daughter used.
I have like a animal fur snuggie and a good mask.
I have one of those spirit cowls. Can we throw that on with a rubber mask?
But. The good thing is that there is some good stuff in this episode.
Ivan Soto in the chat says, panelists, a question. Are you hate watching the show now? I'm actually not. Because the last 3 episodes were really good.
The last 3 episodes were solid.
This one was actually kind of solid. It had a good twist.
Yeah.
It had kind of a cool creature with the background of like Little Red Riding Hood and like luring girls into a forest and then eating their hearts out like some men do in LA. And, you know, now it's got Molly. We learned that Molly is now officially witness once they turn 11. Random number, get their powers.
We
for
never
being
heard of that before.
Right,
but
sure. I'm in, whatever, that's cool. That the whole dad was the Bargus. That was cool.
Yeah.
Molly tricks him. We find out that she's intelligent. She's having visions. She's not having visions, but she's researching a lot. She knows these symbols and stuff, which is going to be cool because if she works with Jenny, she'll understand what Jenny's talking about.
Yeah, and maybe she'll be someone who's cool that can do like a lot of spells and stuff.
Yeah.
So that'll allow her to be long range and not have to like get into the fight, but she can do like her spells and stuff from home. Like spells from home. A nice little book from Sleepy Hollow. But she can do those spells away from the team and still help Ichabod in the field. You know, that could be cool.
I'm also confused on Job. Thank you, Ivan, in the chat. Because I seriously remember seeing Jenny running away from the explosion carrying the lantern. And then this episode she goes back and the lantern was in the explosion and half broken. So she has to take it to the circle where they tied up Headless that one time and put salt around him because they really don't like kosher salt. And,
well, it's supposed to be pure, but yeah.
in the most strain-seeming decision of the entire series, she decides to let a demon go because...
Now, before that, though, I gotta give props to whoever, the actor that plays Joe. Oh, you came correct. He was like, look. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have my shirt off. Let me do this one for the ladies. Because he was there the whole time, straight, moisturized, glistening, cocoa buttered up, all chest, muscular, 6-pack down. I was like, okay. The towel or the burlap sack that he wore or whatever to cover up his lower extremities.
You can follow the demon on Twitter at Camar de los Reyes. Yeah, that's the actor's name, and that is his Twitter as well. Tweet at him that Michael is drooling over his 6-pack, and he may watch the show.
Tell him, come on down. No, it's funny. But it was just funny to see how, all right, hold up. So it's kind of like Terminator where he's naked, but then he's like, oh, I guess Jenny was like, hey, I don't care about demons. I hate your kind, but cover up.
I just happen to have this skin tone, tight-fitting leather blacksmith's apron that you can wear around your waist.
And like he stood up and looked at her like, yeah, girl, that's right.
50 Shades of Jenny.
What up?
She's like, let's just say you're not the only naked man I've put sigils around the room and poured salt around. Let's just say.
But
it's weird because their whole conversation is her being like, I'm a demon murderer, even though my arrows can't hurt you. I'm also have played my fair share with demons. Please tell me this information. I know how to make a deal with a demon without getting caught on the offside of it. Please just leave and then leave a map here with a burn mark in specific coordinates. Now, what is going on?
In this case, the girl was in danger. So they did trade the information on the girl to save the witness.
Yeah.
You know, so at this particular point, you know, in this particular moment, saving the witness is very important, as opposed to just keeping Job, who at the time could be immaterial to the larger scope, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But I do like the fact that she got, she kind of dug into him a little bit where he got angry, talking about like, why are you dealing with him? If you're a demon and he broke the rules, like, what is this? Like, is this like a Stockholm syndrome thing? Are you like his manservant or whatever you are? She was trying to figure out the deal, as we've been trying to figure out, because we're like, I don't get it. Like, he's just this weaselly guy. So why? I don't get it. And I guess we'll find out later on.
Well, she does ask, so she's like, why do you want to help him when he's finding a loophole in the contract? I'd say there's maybe some...
Shouldn't that be punishable by death or soul stealing or whatever?
I mean, maybe it's the fact of, like, it's entertaining to Job to see somebody trying to be immortal because their mortality is the greatest curse, is what some people believe.
Okay.
So, like, you can be immortal, but he's a demon, right? He is a demon, so if he gets shot, he can just heal again. But Dreyfus is immortal through dark magic of other people's souls, so I think it's very backfiring.
And also, we know that there's going to be some type of cost to getting that immortality, because he's already. I mean, when he shows up to the meeting. He could have stopped and took a shower. I mean, he could have stopped at a Motel 6 or something and freshened up. I mean, he's Dreyfus. I'm sure he has, access to a couple of suits, maybe a place or two, someone who could pick him up and, throw some hot water and soap on him. But he shows up to this meeting and completely dirty, in shambles, and he acts as if the board or whoever that group of people were crazy for looking at him the way they did. But even after firing them, he didn't seem exactly on his A game, because when Job showed up, he was kind of it was almost like, oh, thank God you're here, kind of thing. And then you saw like the veiny stuff, the dark veiny stuff, and I was just like, I don't want that. It was like, that's a purgatory like STD or something. I don't know where that stuff comes from, but it's not good.
Yeah, the woman who was talking to him kind of reminded me of what's her face with the stevia from Breaking Bad a little bit. Like, that's probably the casting picture they used for her. But no, I mean, I thought it was funny that he's just like, get the fuck out.
Yeah, he's like, bye. Like, everybody was just like,
see ya.
Everybody's like, I don't get it. And he just fired. I don't know if he has the power to fire them, but I assume he does. But it's going to be very interesting, since he has this immortality. It's going to be very interesting, not like next month, but it's going to be interesting like 20 years from now, when people are like, you know what? You look amazing.
Yeah, right.
You look real good.
No, I like where they're going with this character, right? So here was my biggest thing. When they said, oh my God, it looks like Malcolm Dreyfus is the werewolf we've been searching for. And I'm like, no. I was watching this like, no, you better not fucking do that. I was like, if you do this, I am done with the show. I was seriously about, if they made Dreyfus, you're like, okay, you make him immortal, and then he's now great, he's a werewolf.
Well,
great.
I was thinking before they said the werewolf stuff, I was like, well, maybe he has to like eat hearts to stay alive. That's part of his immortality thing.
I was like, this is going to be so dumb, because you have somebody who you just built him up and finally made him immortal, and then you're going to take him in the next episode and ruin the entire character. I was so happy when they're like, oh no, it's the dad. And then I was like, I was actually thrown for a loop on that.
Yeah.
And now he goes in, he fires everyone, but it was actually interesting because we get some development. Like, what I really hated about season 3 was all-powerful dude, great actor, but I'm going to take this world back, and I will rule with an iron thumb. Pandora, no! Kill Abby.
Yeah, and like
this one is like, hey,
he wasn't powerful enough for the way he acted.
Yeah, it was like, come on, you're a punk bitch who says he can rule the world.
Yeah.
Dreyfus, on the other hand, he's more mortal in the fact that everything he can get done with is through mortal means of money and other things like that. Well, at the same time, he's just like, he gives this monologue about, I was destroyed and rebuilt.
Yeah.
And now I am what I am today. And I think the world needs to be destroyed and rebuilt. So at least we have okay, this is what he's going for. We have a direct thing in mind. He's evil, but he actually, in his own mind, is helping the world. Yeah. Okay, it humanizes him. So we actually have a pretty good villain. He's got some backstory. Yeah. We got a few people in his past.
The only thing I wish
he killed his best friend.
I wish the best friend was still alive. That's the only thing. Because that would have been a very interesting reconnection later on with him, like maybe build back his sigils up. He's like super powerful, but you know, Dreyfus isn't super powerful, but you can't really kill him. So that would have been a very nice rematch, if you would. Yeah. But, you know, of course, he's gone. So, but at least we do have Job. We have the team of Job and, you know, and Dreyfus, and that'll be our, I guess, seemingly long-term villains from now on.
Yeah. Real quick, guys, remind you to click that thumbs up button if you're watching the video live. Also, be sure to watch the videos, share them on Twitter. If you tag us, we'll retweet you. Share them with your friends. If your friends still watch the show, let us know. Let me know what you think, and go ahead and vote in that poll I have. Also, go to iTunes. iTunes is really wonky right now because I am not seeing new reviews. The newest review says November 26, 2014.
Wow.
But let me tell you right now how optimistic our viewers were in 2014. Sonia Dyson, Magnus Opus. This was a great podcast. Glad to see you guys super excited about this episode. The next 8 episodes should get the show back to season 1, which I watch often. Don't count Holly out, though. It seems multiple shows bring in actors from other shows.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Maybe Holly will be on a summer TNT show, and he will still find time to be on Sleepy Hollow. Hopefully, Abby and Ichabod have to hook up to make an ultimate savior that will grow at the rate of Moloch. Oh my God! Back when we had theories and characters that we liked, and Holly,
like, even Holly, you know, Matthew McConaughey guy. But I mean,
it was actually funny because when Molly's dad was running through yelling Molly, I kept like thinking Holly, Holly. It's like, hi.
What happened to Holly? Did he just like leave?
How y'all doing? Hi, I'm Holly. When I'm driving through Sleepy Hollow, people want to see me driving something that real speaks to what I am. That's why I drive a Lincoln.
It's the top quality.
I keep getting older. Witnesses stay the same age. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. All right. I'm Holly.
All right.
I bet I could have fixed that demon cage of a lantern you got there, Jenny. You can tie me up with your salt and sigils any day.
Oh, boy.
50 Shades of Holly.
That relationship was, or that illusion to a relationship was kind of, it didn't really work for me. I mean, I guess it was kind of okay, but it just didn't, I don't know. I liked her and whatchamacallit son better.
Joe Corbin?
Yeah.
Yeah, werewolf dude. Werewolf dude.
He was trying to, rehabilitate himself. You know, I mean, he'd been through some things, you know, killed a couple people, but, he was coming back.
So let's shout out the chat real quick. We got Anita Ricketts, Billie Jean Girl 24, Kristen Collins, Zizification, Ivan Soto, Jacob Albers, Ichlabon 72, Piper Dake. I think I already said Kristen Collins, but hey guys, thanks for watching. Let me see what their things are. So Anita Ricketts says, I am not in favor of a romance between Crane and Diana. To be clear, partnership doesn't require romance. Interesting. Kristen Collins says the horseman was better than the wolf. Sissification says, I'm liking Diane and Crane partnership. I do too. I think they're really actually coming into their own.
Once she got over her hump of the whole, like, I don't believe this stuff.
Yeah.
Now she's able to just be normal on the show.
That was just really annoying. And now that we're over it, it's better.
Yeah.
Anita Ricketts, Billie Jean Girl says, let's see here. I haven't heard them say anything nice about the episode, just hate, that's not good. And then Anita Ricketts says, I think they have been struggling to say many nice things about the season overall. It's the show's problem, not there. The review is fair. I understand that sometimes we come off a little harsh. Again,
but you
can watch our last 3 episodes. And
last 3 episodes, we liked those episodes.
Even this one, like the creature was cool. It's just the design was really flawed.
The design was bad. And the creature was cool.
Yeah,
the twist was cool.
The twist was cool. I like what they're doing with Dreyfus.
It just didn't look good.
Michael, they didn't kill a character.
You know what? They got rid of,
but no, Dreyfus is still alive. We got a second episode with the villain, and he's still alive.
Now we have a long-term villain.
The only way to keep somebody alive in front of these writers is to make them immortal, I think. Which works. They blew him up, but he still survived. Malcolm Dreyfus will make Sleepy Hollow great again.
Oh, man. Here we go.
You can't kill him.
You can't kill him.
Malcolm Dreyfus is making Sleepy Hollow great again.
But you can decapitate him in cement. Just in case you're ever hunting down an immortal person, you can always try that.
So here's my question. Do you think that Job is discreetly helping Dreyfus because Job wants to possess him and then be free of his demon shackles?
You know what? That's not a bad idea. Like, help him become immortal and then jump into Dreyfus, and then he doesn't. Well, I mean, I guess in that case, exorcisms would still work, maybe? I don't know how that would.
I don't either. I just know that when Jenny was talking to Job, it basically made the comparison that that Job is very similar to Moloch in power.
Yeah.
So who's in control of everything, for one? And then if Job is similar in power to Moloch, like, we haven't seen like the extent of his powers.
Yeah, you're right. He's been pretty tough all throughout. The only thing that really got him was the bat with the sigils, which I wish somebody would find, because that bat comes in.
The cricket bat was
handy.
Killer.
Yo, that thing comes in handy. I don't know why Crane should have one of those. Well, Crane isn't the type of character that would carry something like that.
Yeah.
You need someone like, almost like Ron Perlman type character to walk around with something like that. Just knocking.
Billie Jean Girl says, I don't think Job is possessing anyone, because when he got trapped in the lantern, the demon would have left the body. I'm not saying he possessed anyone. I'm saying he could possess Dreyfus.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, it's interesting to figure out what his game is, and I like how the writers are giving us a chance to try to speculate about it, because it's the last question that we haven't really answered just yet.
Guys, our poll is not doing too well.
Ooh.
Sleepy Hollow fans, would this episode have been better if the Creature's Mask wasn't purposed from the 99-cent store? 14% say yes, and 86% say I don't watch anymore.
Ooh, man.
Wow.
Sleepy Hollow has to step their game up, but they have. I think the last 3 episodes were solid. This one was semi-solid. It's just the only issue was so glaring.
Yeah.
It's like, but this one was like semi-solid, because I like the conversation between Jenny and Job. I like that interaction.
We didn't get any Alex or
nope
him this episode.
Alex
either.
and Jake were just, I don't know, at home relaxing. Maybe the Sleepy Hollow trip took a lot out of them. I don't know, but they were like just gone. They were like, we're out, and it would have been cool. Maybe
Kristen says, give Jenny the bat. I could see that. Jenny with the bat. Yeah,
Jenny, man, just Louisville slugging them all, man. That would be amazing. That would be real cool. But yeah, it's interesting to see kind of how well they're starting to work together, even apart from each other. Because at first they never knew that Ichabod and Diana never knew that Jenny had Job like locked up or anything.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that the team is starting to work very well together, and that's something that I think this show is going to need to move forward.
What do you think of Job and Jenny's kind of, I don't want to say like camaraderie or like friendship, but
More
it was
like
kind of like
a mutual respect kind of thing.
In some weird way, because she had been possessed before and he like knew that, but also like she didn't back down from him like some people would.
Yeah.
He definitely didn't make her float in the air and then disintegrate her.
No. And he had the opportunity to, but he said, when I make a deal, I follow the deal or whatever. So it's kind of like one of those kind of, on the battlefield, I respect you, kind of thing. It's, we're definitely never gonna, go to, I don't know, Six Flags together, but, I can look at you and say, you know what, you're a formidable adversary, and I respect that.
Do you think Job would ever betray Dreyfus for a deal with Jenny? Because they've already made one deal.
Yeah, they have. What would Jenny have to offer him?
Her soul.
Yeah, but is Jenny willing to let that go? or maybe in a trick, maybe. That's interesting. I'm interested to see where they go, because they do have kind of like we're enemies, but we have respect for each other kind of thing. So I'm interested to see how that plays out.
Yeah, because it didn't seem like he was looking down on her so much as just pissed off.
Yeah, he was more, I guess, angry about getting caught in the lantern.
Yeah, I mean, I would be too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too pleased.
I like how she called him some kind of half 2-bit genie. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, he didn't like that one. Oh, and the effect when he banged up against the salt.
Yeah, that was cool.
A cool effect.
That was pretty cool.
Could have used that budget somewhere else, guys. But that was cool. That was one of the parts of this episode that I think shined. The twist shined a lot. But
I'd like some backstory on Job.
Yeah, I want to know why Job. What is it about Dreyfus? I don't get it.
Like it'd be cool if Job is the previous recipient of the deal with the devil. Like he lived his life and now he's serving his life sentence to the devil as his right-hand man.
Okay.
And maybe we get like a backstory on Job, that Job was a Spartan, and to save the Spartan we get like the story of 300, and he was actually like Leonidas back then.
Ah, okay.
And then he died. He lived out his contract by dying with the 300, and then became Satan's right hand. Like, I don't know. I'd like some backstory.
Yeah,
on him.
something cool. That
He's kind of cooler than any of the other characters on the show right now.
I like Job a lot. I do. I think Job. He's really pulling. He's pulling the weight of Dreyfus's evil plan.
Yeah.
He's pulling a lot of the weight.
He's disintegrating guards left and right.
He was three days
retirement.
3 days away from retirement.
God damn, poor guy.
His daughter was at home waiting for his last call, and his wife was in. Was she in the hospital? I can't remember. His wife was in the hospital.
No, his daughter was in the hospital.
Oh, daughter was in the hospital. Wife was waiting for him to arrive back home safely.
I want to see Ichabod and Job working together. I mean, I know we had Abby working with
against
a demon last
maybe a third
season.
party. Maybe throw a third party in here, because this is episode 7, so we have 5 to go.
I don't think we can get a third party. I think the only way is Job realizing that something's going on with Dreyfus, or Dreyfus is going to cut him out.
Okay, yeah.
Because like you look at Dreyfus and you look at Job right next to him, and doesn't it kind of seem very similar to when Dreyfus was with his old business partner? You have the really suave, good-looking guy, and then you have Dreyfus. And if Job starts becoming the main attraction to people,
yeah. See, it kind of depends on how Job plays his position in these next couple of episodes.
Yeah.
And I'm very interested to see how they end this season up, because I want to know so much about Job. That's why, like, I'm very interested. But we got 6 left, man. We got 6 episodes left, and out of 7 episodes, we got 3.5 good ones.
Yeah.
So I'm we're batting 500 right now. We're
I didn't see scenes. I don't think I saw scenes.
No, I didn't see any next time.
Yeah, I didn't see any of that.
But they probably have it up on YouTube by now. So.
Do you want to do predictions?
Yep.
All right, let's get into some predictions. I think we're gonna forego Sleepington Abbey today.
Aww.
Now, your AfterBuzz TV.
Epilepsy. Predictions. Here's the question I want to ask. What do you think his plan is to destroy and recreate the world? Because think in mind, this is a rich millionaire with software. Oh, we did get scenes. We got scenes because he's a rich millionaire with software, and then the next scenes from next episode are the phone giving you a fluid that lights you on fire, which is like The Ring kind of mixed with
kind of like
just listening.
Like, everybody turn off your phones. It's funny. One dude was like,
"This is what happens when you listen to my mixtape.
Yeah,
it's fire.
You listen to mixtape. Boom!
It's the fire flu. It actually looks cool though, if it wasn't so ring based. But yeah,
we'll see. I really hope that this causes mass hysteria And because we have had a lot of situations where you're thinking, oh, tons of people are going to die, and like one person dies. And it's like, I would like to see a lot of bodies drop. Now, I know that's bad for network TV, but just go with me for a second, Fox. You can do it. Just kill people, maybe even off screen, or maybe just have them fall.
They ripped people's freaking hearts out this episode.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Like, they brutally saw her getting murdered.
Like,
I think it'd be cool if he's using his technology to weed out, like, do things where basically, like, only certain people get triggered by this
okay. So
hot
like
flash.
Maybe weeding out people that would have the power to stand against him. Something like that. Like people that are I know this is not on purpose, even though I am on Jedi Alliance, but some people that are like force sensitive in this world. So people that are like, sensitive to supernatural feelings or incantations or something like that. Maybe weeding them out.
Supernatural feelings gonna blow up from my phone. He just basically turns every phone into a Samsung Galaxy.
Oh, the Note 7?
Note 7, yeah.
Oh man,
that would make sense. Maybe that's what happened. They can't figure out what's going on with phones because it's just like a video they watch and the phone just explodes.
Yeah, it's like The Ring plus Sleepy Hollow plus like I don't know, something terrorism like stuff.
Plus The Ring plus Sleepy Hollow plus what is that movie called? The Gentleman. Samuel L. Jackson blows people's heads up with his app.
Oh, Kingsman.
Kingsman. Yeah, mixed with Kingsman. Where there's more from because he's basic. Like, you can look at it. Dreyfus is basically Samuel L. Jackson, except less kid-like.
Except less kid-like, yes. Yeah, Dreyfus is, especially, and I want to find out more about what that black veiny stuff is.
I think that's just the side effect of him not consuming enough.
Oh, like maybe he needs to take in souls himself to remain immortal or something like that.
I don't know. I'd say that when you swallow random green goo on the ground that is created from the souls of the surrounding area people by killing them, there are bound to be some side effects.
Just a few.
Itchy foot, runny nose, black veins,
diarrhea,
the usual.
Stroke, he
just needs some
bleeding.
He needs some Pepto, he'll be okay.
Yeah.
Zissification's prediction is Job leaves Dreyfus, and Crane seeks his help for maybe an episode or two when we see the continuing interaction with Jenny and interaction with Crane, even with Molly through some cool device.
All right, cool. What I think, or I hope we'll see, is we know Jake really loves all the sigils and stuff, and Molly is already into that stuff. So maybe pairing those two up for him to kind of start teaching her kind of like the means and stuff. And maybe she can be like, Full Metal Alchemist and doing like cool seals and stuff. And, maybe, I guess they've never really done that in the show, so it wouldn't count. but that could be kind of cool. Like her doing the seals and stuff from long distance, which allows her it gives her some action. And it gives her some spells to say, but without being, because of course this is network TV, you can't really put her in real danger. So we know you're not going to kill her, but maybe put her in some situations where maybe she's falling and she has to say a certain spell to levitate herself, or something to injure another werewolf, or maybe to heal somebody faster, or something, because she's already into the signs and the little drawings. So why not continue down that path?
You know what? You know what we should do with this show? And this is going to be really unpopular.
I'm going to watch the chat. Here we go. All right.
You know what we should do? All right. So here's how the season plays out, right?
Okay. We got 6 episodes left.
Ichabod, Alex, Diane, all them, and Molly go after Dreyfus to take him down to ruin his plot of whatever it is. Mm-hmm. In the process, Ichabod is killed. Diane is killed.
Oh.
And Alex and them are all killed. Everyone's pretty much killed taking out Dreyfus. And the only reason Molly survives is because she carves a sigil into her own skin to survive at the last second. Meanwhile, the population gets lowered by whatever Dreyfus was doing, but it also brings humanity to the next level. Season ends, hard reboot with Molly 10 years later as like an Arrow-like character covered in sigils taking down the demons now that Job is running Dreyfus Industries.
That would be dope, but this is network TV.
Damn it!
If this was on FX, I'd be like, yeah. AMC, yeah.
Just imagine
that
like,
would be dope. And
an older version of Molly just covered in tattoos that are all just different sigils.
that could be sweet. That I kind of want to see that. I know the chat will probably be. They're not going to be happy.
Like
about
you remember Jackie Chan Adventures?
Crane kind of is, Crane kind of is Sleepy Hollow now, but that would be bold. But I'd be into watching it. Like someone who's kind of like kung fu. She kind of like walks on her own path.
Yeah.
She takes out people from left to right. Maybe has the bat too.
Maybe Alex or something survived, and he's kind of like half deformed. Here,
Yeah.
Neil, did you ever watch Jackie Chan Adventures?
Yeah, that show was dope.
Do you remember the storyline
that
where
shit
they
was dope.
cut to the future and
Oh,
they had the bad demons had won?
Yep.
I thought that was way more interesting and such a cooler storyline than anything else they had ever done.
And that was way more adult than I expected to ever see that.
Like that show shined when it was like, this is some messed up stuff and this is somebody
Yeah.
trying to change it around. That's where I'd like to see Sleepy Hollow go, because so far the
Yeah.
stakes have been so low and the witnesses have been so semi-unimportant in everything that
Yeah.
if we cut to the future where the witnesses actually have a role to play, kind of like, let's say, what was it, Demon Gate London?
Okay.
Like that kind of, like in that kind of world where demons have already kind of taken over the world in some
and
respect.
it's kind of like
Hellgate London.
They've kind of subjugated humans. Like humans are alive, but they're not. They're second class sort of citizens, I guess you could say.
And let me tell you, Hellgate London game was terrible, but there's 3 books, and those books were awesome.
Yeah. Now in the
Super
chat, Ivan Soto's not feeling it, but Jacob, Anita, there's some people that are down with this, and I'm down with it too. I think and Anita says Sleepy Hollow: The Witness Chronicles. Now
Ivan Soto says Sleepy Hollow is Ichabod Crane, though.
Yeah, and I mean, I kind of said that, like, Ichabod is sort of Sleepy Hollow, but that's, like you said, you reboot it into Sleepy Hollow, The Witness Chronicles, or Sleepy Hollow, Molly's Journal, or Sleepy Hollow something, Sleepy Hollow colon, blah, blah, blah. And then you kind of, like, you get her memories of, learning, and maybe we fill in some spots between those 6 episodes where he was training her and stuff. So we get to see Ichabod every now and then, and you get to see the current actress every now and then in, like, those little flashbacks, but it's informing her forward progression in this new story. That could be real cool.
And then here's another thing that might kind of
just knock down, drag out fight scenes and cool magic, and not. I know people love Harry Potter, but I'm not really into the wand magic. I'm more into like the cool seals and like doing things magic. And I think they
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, something like that. I'm more into that. Even kind of some of the stuff on Warcraft film where they had like the
I never saw it.
They had like the cool like signs around their hands and stuff. That could be sweet.
You know what?
I'm down for that.
Let me throw something at you guys in the
Go
chat.
picture, Fox. Let's do this.
Hopefully this blows your mind a little bit, because it's potentially what they could be going for in the show. Is the whole reason Dreyfus was immortal. Mm-hmm. Why? Tell me. What did he do?
I mean, he didn't really do.
He mixed the Headless Horseman and Ichabod's blood together, surrounded by a place where they could take the souls of people, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's look at the Headless Horseman and let's look at Ichabod. In the past, their blood mixed on the Philosopher's Stone, and then the Horseman came back alive when Ichabod came back alive 241 years later. Mm-hmm. So, hypothetically, they're both immortal. There's nothing to say that Ichabod's not immortal right now.
Yeah, because we've never had him in a situation
He has been in situations where he's been hurt and stuff like that.
But we've never seen him in a situation where he was fatally wounded yet, I don't think. He's always been kind of like hurt bad, but not like flatline bad.
Yeah, but even not fatally wounded, like we don't know if he ages. He was locked underground for 241 years, comes out looking the exact same way.
You know what? Yeah.
And you look at Headless Horseman, he was dead. He was dead, and now he didn't have a head, right? But his body's still moving.
Body's still moving around.
So we
no
also
problem.
see like he's got black hands and stuff like that, like he's all messed up. Is Dreyfus kind of similar to the Headless Horseman, that he's undead now and just immortal? Like that's the thing with like, you can look at this and you can say, even going back to the spider monster this season, they shoot the spider monster and then Ichabod's bleeding profusely, but nothing really ever seems to come of it, and he seems completely fine by the end of the episode.
And
is Ichabod freaking immortal?
That's a good question, because I don't think I'm trying to think back to all the times he's been in trouble, but I don't think we've ever had a time where he was like flatlined. I think it was always kind of like, oh, he's hurt, he's kind of like, he broke his ankle or something, but never something where he was in the hospital bleeding out, everyone surrounding him, the chips are gone and flatline and the episode ends. I don't think we've ever had something like that, which is interesting. That's very interesting. I'm hype about your show that I'm pretty sure Fox is never going to do, but I'm hype about that show. I'm very hype. And I'm glad that you guys in the chat are feeling, some of y'all are feeling that idea. I think that could be cool. Like lone, kind of like this lone survivor thing. She's on her own. I could definitely deal with that.
I got another poll going, guys. Do you think Ichabod is immortal? Let us know on Twitter at Stephen Lemieux. Follow Mr. Michael Young at
One Youngster. You can find me at ONEYOUNGSTA.
And check him out on Jedi Alliance later today on the Popcorn Talk Network.
Popcorn Talk Network. And you can find me also on Rebels after show today on Popcorn Talk Network as well.
I got a tweet just now from Henry Ortero, who used to be like so all up in these shows. And Henry's great. He does reviews of TV shows, like written reviews and stuff.
Oh, word.
And he tweeted me, "I'm surprised you're still watching this."
Oh, man, come on.
I got another tweet from Robin B12. Would it be, in reply to my earlier poll, would be better if Abby Mills hadn't been so inauspiciously killed off? Yeah. I mean, there's no arguing these points, but at least we can hope for the show to be good.
The show has been good enough.
Yeah.
I think the show's been good enough. There's been some solid episodes. The new team is coming together pretty well. So Sleepy Hollow can survive.
It can. As long as Malcolm Dreyfus makes Sleepy Hollow great again.
I think he's going to be able to do that.
I think he might. Buy your red hats today. We'll see you guys next week for Season 4, Episode 8 of the Sleepy Hollow After Show.
Peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Zoinks!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.